everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new Will I Buy It. I post my Will I Buy It series every single Wednesday, chatting over new makeup releases, my thoughts on them, if I'm planning to pick them up or pass over them. I'll have my playlist linked down below, as well as the community playlist that I started, where a bunch of different creators that make the style of new releases video can add theirs to the playlist if you want to catch more of these. But I do have a lot to chat about this week, so let me go ahead and get started. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit since I add in some photos. Don't mind the hair. This is what my hair looks like when I do not have time to condition it and I just use shampoo. I throw a little mousse in it to make it slightly tamer, otherwise it's like really large. But yeah, this is what happens when I skip conditioner. So okay, so I do read from the Trend Mood One Instagram, so I do always also have her linked in my description box as well. I'm gonna kick it off with some Colourpop because I felt like I didn't even know this collection was coming out, and then I saw a couple people post videos on it and I was like, wait, what, which one is this? Like, I really enjoy Colourpop. I have Colourpop on my eyes today, their spring palette, the Sweet Talk palette. That's what's on my eyes today. I'll have all the makeup linked in the description box that I'm wearing like I normally do. But Colourpop definitely releases a lot, but I was really surprised that I was seeing videos already like swatching and talking about the collection before I felt like I even saw like a release photo from them. So I was like, wait, what? But this is the festival collection. You know, we're entering festival season. You know, a lot of, you know, I look at like fashion websites almost daily. A lot of Coachella vibes are out there. So, you know, some different makeup brands are releasing their festival collections. So we have 8 brand new pressed glitters. These are for $5 each. There's also some new cream gel liners. There's 4 pressed pigments, which are $5.50 each. We also have some new juicy glosses for $7 and the BFF mascara for $8. So the pressed glitters, I mean, these definitely look very cool, and you know, everything's, you know, fairly affordable like Colourpop normally is. The glitters look like a lot of fun, but they're just not something that I wear a ton. I don't go for glitter a lot. I don't go for glitter even in like my palettes, like the Colourpop palette that I have on today. It has 2 glitters in there, and I've used almost every single shade on my eyes except for those glitters, except when I did the live swatching for the palette, because they just don't call to me a lot. If I'm going for a glitter, I'm generally going for like my Stila liquid glitters, Pixie. I wouldn't get enough use out of a pressed glitter, but they sure are eye-catching. Also for the pressed pigments, I watched ThatGirlShae. She always does live swatching of the Colourpop collections, and the pressed pigments definitely looked super cool on her eyes. And I was like slightly intrigued by it, but then I'm like, you know, I just don't think I would get enough use out of those either. And pressed pigments can a little bit freak me out because I know that they can stain the eyes sometimes. And because I do film almost every single day for YouTube, Monday through Friday, sometimes I have to try to work around if I'm playing with a palette that I know might stain my lids, because then that can affect my makeup the next day. And how I'm doing it, especially if I'm, you know, actually applying makeup on camera, then it's gonna look funky with stained lids. So I don't go for them a ton, and it's not like more and more palettes have pressed pigments in them these days, but like I just purchased the Riviera palette, which has a pink and a purple pressed pigment, and that's 2 of these that Colourpop is releasing. There's a cool like neon one in there too, and an orange one. But again, not necessarily like my makeup vibes, not the tones that I reach for the most of. Like, is it fun to play around? Definitely. And if I needed something to play around with, I would rather, you know, purchase something that's more affordable, since it's not used a ton in my collection. But I think that I can go ahead and pass over everything from the festival collection. Don't really like the glosses, to be honest. The gel liners I do like, and the mascara I think is okay from Colourpop. But that's kind of what I think about the pressed glitters and the pressed pigments. But who's super interested in the collection? Have you picked anything up on? So this is just another collaboration that doesn't really call to me. Ulta Beauty is coming out with a collab with Marvel and the Avengers. So I know that the Avengers is a movie, but just like last week when I had to admit that I don't watch Game of Thrones, and you know, Urban Decay is doing that collaboration, and I was like, oh boy. I thought people were going to be so upset in the comments. Like, I was actually kind of worried, and I started off the video that way. I got so many comments from people saying they're either not into the show or they've never seen the show either. Those comments were more overwhelming than people being like, girl, what? Or like, I love Game of Thrones. I was so surprised because I thought I was like one of the only people around that has not seen Game of Thrones, and wow, you guys really proved me wrong. So that was pretty funny. But same kind of here with the Avengers Endgame is the next upcoming movie. I don't know if I've ever seen an Avengers movie. It's just kind of not what I'm interested in or my tastes or whatnot. I honestly don't see a lot of movies anyways. My friends make fun of me all the time because I never have any idea about new movies or past movies. It's just, I'm just not like a big movie person. The collection, the collaboration doesn't really call to me, and a lot of times when that happens, unless there's something in the collab that really turns my attention, then I'll try to figure out if I really need it, but nothing is really calling to me. There's an eyeshadow palette for $20. There's some different makeup bags that you can buy. There's a highlight palette for $16, and there's lip glosses and also liquid lipsticks, and they're all $10 each. So that's out now. The palette, the highlight, just nothing really called to me. The packaging doesn't really do anything for me since I'm not an Avengers fan, but I have heard of the Avengers and I've heard of Marvel. I know what that is, and I personally know a lot of people, like a lot of my friends are really into it, and they've gone and seen the movie. So I feel like, you know, a lot of people are gonna really like it for the collaboration, but it's just not something that interests me. But are you a big fan? So Glow Recipe is coming out with a new serum. So they kind of started off with some like watermelon themed products, then they had the avocado, and now they have pineapple. This is the Pineapple C Bright Serum. It's for brightening and smoothing. Let's see, it says to reveal poreless, translucent, and illuminated glass skin with brightening pineapple. I know glass skin is kind of like really in right now. So it's a lightweight liquid. It has 3 types of vitamin C, including pineapple juice, which is a potent source of natural vitamin C. It has natural AHA. Let's see, it's going to be $49. There's so many products from Glow Recipe that intrigue me and I look at, and I've never bit the bullet on them. I actually did have a subscriber send over the watermelon serum, and I'm waiting to incorporate it into my skincare routine. I just have a few things that I try not to overwhelm my skin too much too fast with new products, because that, you know, obviously is not great for the skin. But every once in a while I'll go through and add in another new product, and that one is still, it's almost its turn. So I have that from Glow Recipe that I'm going to be trying out here soon. So I kind of want to try that one and see how my skin reacts and see how I do. It's $49, which, you know, can be pretty pricey for a serum, but their products continue to intrigue me. I like the packaging on this one. It kind of, you know, caught my eye right away. The claims sound pretty interesting as well. It says it'll be available April 5th online, so it is available now. So I'll have everything that's available linked in my description box, but I'm gonna wait to try out the watermelon moisturizer that I got. But what are you guys thinking about that new one from Glow Recipe? So I've noticed that powder foundations seem to be not making a comeback, because I don't think that they ever really went away, but I've noticed that more brands are coming out with powder foundation products right now, and Makeup Forever is the latest one that I have seen release one. So let's see, this is the Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. It's going to be $38 and in 30 different shades. Powder foundations used to be pretty much all that I wore. I was never really into liquid foundations. I think I found them to be kind of intimidating. So I used to just go with the powders all the time. If you guys have been around my channel for a while, the Pure 4-in-1 pressed powder, I wore that so often. I've gone through multiple compacts of that. I would use my powder foundations all the way up, and it's what I would only use on my skin. But I don't know, kind of as I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten away from them. I do use, you know, kind of my liquid foundations so much more, and a lot of times if I'm using a powder, it's just to kind of set the foundation. It's not actually as a foundation, but I'm curious. I see a lot more brands coming out with the powder foundations right now. I feel like as of right now, I'm still not interested enough to try them out, but maybe if I hear a bunch of people really liking one, maybe I would consider it. So I don't think I would go for this one with Makeup Forever. Like, again, I like to watch the reviews, especially if it comes to like higher end products or products that I'm not sure I'll enjoy. I like to watch the reviews and see what people are saying, and maybe if there's one in particular that, you know, I kind of keep hearing about, maybe I would try it out. But it's just not my makeup preference right now, and of course our preferences are always changing. You know, I used to be completely off cream products. I've kind of gotten back into cream bronzers and cream blushes, so you know, trends come and go. Like I said, I used to be really into powder foundation, now I'm not as much. So you know, it comes and goes for your preferences, but I don't know. What are you guys feeling on that? Have you been a big powder fan? I don't know, I'm curious to get your thoughts on that one, but I'll just keep my eye on some of these for right now. Too Faced is releasing some new brushes. So a while back they came out with this Mr. Right brush, and now they have like a set. Yeah, we have the Mr. Right 5-piece eye brush set, and that's $45. You have a contouring brush for $30, the Perfect Setup, which includes the Mr. Right brush, and then the Born This Way powder for $39. The original Mr. Right brush is $36. So the brushes are cute, but I don't think that they're anything that I need. I definitely have a lot of makeup brushes, but for some reason I just love makeup brushes. I love finding makeup brushes, and sometimes brushes just call to me, but these really don't. It's so interesting with Too Faced. They either have, I don't know what I want to say, like just like younger vibes with their makeup products, or it's like so over the top with like the sex vibes that it's just like, it's just weird. So I don't know, that's kind of like what I get when I look at these with like the little bow ties. Like it's super cute and everything, but not for me, not brushes that I feel like I need to have in my collection right away. So I'm gonna pass over that. And then they're also coming out with a new highlighter, Too Faced is. And again, this is one that's kind of more in that, I just kind of feel like a younger demographic with this one, if you will. This is the part of the Clover collection. This is the Clover Puppy Love Highlighter, which is $30. It says it's a champagne gold highlighter inspired by Clover's love for everything shiny. It's an ultra creamy formula. And Clover is, I think it's Jared Blandino's dog, Jared is one of the owners, or was the owner of Too Faced. I know that they've been bought out and such, but I believe it's his dog. And they have a bunch of different of these Clover products, but like the compact is cute, actually looking like a dog, and then the inside, like that's cute and everything, but it's just not really like my style, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass over that too. But so Kaja Beauty is releasing Sparkling Eye Pigments. It says it's a liquid formula with a moussey texture that dries completely and has a beautiful shimmer and sparkle to your eyes. Some have duochrome finishes. There's 8 different shades for $16, and I believe that these are available now. I haven't tried anything from Kaja Beauty yet. I think that they are a newer brand, and they are also available at Sephora. I've seen a couple of reviews kind of scattered here and there throughout YouTube of some of their products, but I feel like their packaging has interested me, and some of the products that they've come out with, I've kind of given them a second look on the Sephora website, but I haven't actually purchased anything myself yet. These, again, they don't sound like items that I feel like I really need or that I would, you know, really consistently use. So I can pass over these. But I just thought I would mention them. I got a couple tags on them, and like I said, some of the releases have caught my attention, just not enough to actually purchase. But have you guys tried anything from Kaja Beauty? I would love to know. I've gotten quite a few tags about Patrick Ta and his brand that he just came out with. So Patrick Ta is a makeup artist. I've seen him, like I've been kind of familiar with him because I've seen him in like Desi Perkins videos or like, you know, Snapchats and things like that. So I've been a little bit familiar with him. Like I'm not someone who's super familiar with a lot of like celebrity makeup artists and things like that. I learn a lot of that through YouTube and through other creators and such, but I'm familiar with the name, and I've seen him before, but he's now releasing his own brand, and this is all about the glow. So there is a glow body oil, which is $53. There's a glow highlighting mist for $32. There's a setting fan for $24. There's a lip shines for $22. And a lot of people seem to be really interested in this body glow, and of course I've been seeing people get their PR packages from Patrick Ta that are delivered with like half naked men and all of these things, which is very fun and stuff to watch. But I just feel like the collection isn't necessarily geared towards me or what it is that I wear. I very rarely go for these kind of like glowy body products. I get it, and it's nice to have like one or like two in your collection if you ever, you know, feel like going over the top that night. But I don't really. A lot of times when I'm going out with my friends, I'm just kind of like basic. Again, it's fun to like do something out of your norm, but I probably don't need to like fill my makeup collection or like my body care collection with a bunch of these types of products. So even though it looks super cool, $53 is probably too much for me to spend on something that I'm very rarely going to go into. The highlighting mist looks pretty. A setting fan is not something that I need. I do actually have one. And the lip shine, like everything looks really pretty and very eye-catching, and the packaging looks really beautiful. So like, do not get me wrong there. I think it's really cool that he's starting his own brand. I think that he's very respected in the makeup industry, kind of from what I've gathered and all of that. So really, really cool. I definitely feel like there's people that are really gonna want these products, and they're gonna wear them a lot, and they're gonna look so amazing in them, but it's not necessarily me or like my style or what I wear a ton of. Still looks really beautiful, still a pretty cool collection. I'd love to know if you guys are picking anything up from it, but I'm probably gonna go ahead and pass over. So Milk Makeup has a new product that they came out with. This was a new one to the Kush family. So this is the Cannabis mask. It's a hydrating face mask for $24. It says to instantly moisturize, calm, and soothe for a revitalized complexion. I believe it is going to be available now as well, and this is in the stick form. So Milk Makeup has a lot of the like stick products, so this is another one in stick form. I just posted a video recently. I will link it down below, but it's called Brands That Excite Me, and it's in a top 5, bottom 5 format. So brands that, you know, don't really call my attention. I still like them, but their releases just don't kind of call to me. And then the top 5 who you hear me say in a lot of the Will I Buy It videos, like I'm just interested in their releases. You know, I do the double take when they're coming out with products. And I actually mentioned Milk in my top 5, and I said a lot of their packaging really gets to me. You know, it just is something like a little bit different, a little bit more unique. And even though I don't buy absolutely everything that Milk Makeup comes out with, there's hits and misses to the brand for me, but still for whatever reason, I kind of am always just doing that double take when they're coming out with new releases. And this is another one that I kind of gave a second glance to, and I was really reading about it. And you know, I do like a lot of their skincare. You know, some of the first products that I tried from them was their skincare. I've tried their cleanser stick and their toner, their oil stick. Like I've tried all of those from Milk, and I still have quite a few in my skincare collection now. I don't know if this is something that I feel like I really need though. I like that it says it's good for hydration because I do have dry skin. There's also aloe vera in there. It makes me think like this could be something good for summertime. Like if you know, maybe are out in the sun too long or get a sunburn or something like that, you know, maybe it would be good for that. But I don't feel like this would necessarily fill like a void that I have in my skincare collection right now. And then we have another new concealer. So it was more, I think, towards like the beginning of the year that so many different brands were coming out with concealers that kind of died down just like a little bit. But we have another new one here, and this is from Natasha Denona. This is the Transfix Matte Concealer. It says medium to full coverage, super long wear, ultralight texture. Let's see, it has a lot of different claims actually. Transfer proof, triple anti-aging extract, hyaluronic acid, and collagen. It can also be used as a foundation. I mean really, like you can do that with any concealer probably, or most concealers. There's going to be 23 shades, and these are $28 each. Like I'm kind of interested to try this out. I just recently picked up a new Natasha Denona foundation, the Foundation X Plus, and I did a wear test for it for YouTube, and I actually really liked it. It was the foundation that I wore to my friend's wedding a couple weeks ago because it was super long wearing. It didn't really budge at all. I didn't have to worry about touching it up throughout the night. So I've been really getting on with that foundation. So that kind of is what makes me consider this concealer. $28, it's higher price, but I actually kind of thought maybe it would be in the 30s because 28, 29, that's like, I think that's what the Tarte Shade Tape is in. I think that's what Too Faced is in. So I kind of thought Natasha would be in the 30s, honestly, for the concealer. So I believe the Vib sale is coming up. So I'm starting to really add some items to my loves list. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this one, like I'm gonna flag it so I can keep my eye on it, because I'm considering that really because I enjoyed the foundation so much. So I'm curious to try out a concealer from her as well, but you'll have to let us know what you think about that one from Natasha. We have another new release from BH Cosmetics. This is their Summer 2019 eyeshadow palette, Summer Lovin. It includes 16 shades. It says a mix of lush corals, bronzy neutrals, rich plum hues, and matte and shimmer shades. Our matte and shimmer finishes for $12. Now BH was another brand that I mentioned in that Brands That Excite Me video, but they were actually in the bottom 5. And I feel like it's because you hear me say so often, especially in the Will I Buy It videos, that BH just doesn't call to me enough. Like when they come out with new releases, I very rarely do the double take. I'm very rarely, you know, kind of asking myself, like, do I need this? Do I really want it? Is it going to fill a void? Is it okay price-wise? You know, I just can kind of pass over BH. And this is another one that it looks pretty, it looks fun and definitely very summery. I kind of like that neon print on the outer packaging, and there's some fun pinks in there and pops of color and all of that. But price is great, but BH just doesn't interest me enough. And I think a lot of it honestly is from Colourpop, because Colourpop is, you know, they're pretty darn affordable as well, but I feel like their quality is just a little bit better than BH Cosmetics, and they just release more that catches my attention. So I'm also going to pass over that palette from BH Cosmetics. Okay, so we have a new release from Morphe. They are teaming up with Deysi Danger once again. I know they've done a collab in the past. They're now coming out with this Lilac Highlighter for $14. This one says available now, so it should be available on the Morphe website, so I will link it down below. I had the highlight palette from Desi Danger, and it didn't really do anything for me. I do like the new Morphe highlights that just came out recently, but not enough to really keep them around. I did declutter one in my highlight collection declutter. I thought that they were good, but there's so many other highlights that I just really love on right now, so I know that I would go ahead and pass over this. I'm also not super familiar with the collaborator, so just kind of another reason why it doesn't make me do a double take or whatnot. We have another collaboration and another re-release from Colourpop Cosmetics. So they are once again teaming up with I Am Becky G, who I believe is a singer. And I know that they've done a collab in the past, but they are now coming out with some new limited edition luxe lipsticks for $7 each or $14 in the set. And these are kind of more red, and we have kind of like a vampy purple burgundy lipstick. Not shades that really intrigue me, and again, I'm not super familiar with the collaborator, so I know that I can go ahead and pass over these two. But what are you guys thinking about that new collaboration with I Am Becky G? Oh, I feel like the last couple weeks we haven't had a ton of new releases, and I feel like this week has been really long. As I was kind of going through everything and moving some of the photos to my folder on my phone, I was like, oh boy, this might be a long week. I got so many tags on this one, and it also overflowed to my Twitter. And I always say that when I start to get a bunch of tags on Twitter, I feel like I know people are really excited about something. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the GlowGasm collection, okay? So we have the GlowGasm face palette, the GlowGasm Beauty Light Wand, which is a highlighter, I believe. Okay, so really the face palette is what called my attention right away. I stared at this palette and the photo of this palette for a really long time because it looks beautiful. As of right now, I don't see a price, and it just says coming soon, so I'm not for sure when it's going to be available. So it looks like there are two different face palettes, so one for, you know, maybe lighter skin tones, one for a little bit deeper skin tones, and then I think in this photo there's three different of these light wands, which again is a highlighter. I'm gonna see what the price is. Charlotte Tilbury was a brand that I had on my initial list of brands that excite me because it just seems kind of like a lot that she comes out with. I kind of do either gravitate towards, or just I give it a second glance and, you know, kind of really think about it. Her prices are usually a little bit higher, and some things are kind of hit or miss for me. I've done a big video reviewing a bunch of different products from Charlotte Tilbury, and some I'm like, I really enjoy this so much, and I know it's higher priced, but I really believe in it, and others that I'm like, I just don't understand why this is so expensive. I do actually have her Bar of Gold highlighting palette on my cheeks today. It is in my April Shop My Stash video because I don't love it, and I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it around. So I'm gonna try to get a bunch of use out of it this month and see if I want to hang on to it, but I don't know. I'm curious about this one, and then I'm trying to remind myself, you have the Bar of Gold palette, you don't love it. Is it smart to buy another highlight palette? So this is probably gonna be one. I'll check the price on it and all of that, and I'll see what people are saying in the reviews, but I don't know. It definitely gave me the double take though, okay? I think that it looks really beautiful. We finally have some news on the Sephora Vib Sale that is coming up. We've been, you know, kind of expecting it. It usually comes fairly shortly after the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, which did end this past weekend. So it says for Vib Rouge, we'll keep you updated, and it's going to be 15% off. So we don't have dates for that yet, but Vib is May 1st. But we don't have an end date either, and that's 15% off. Beauty Insider is going to be 10% off. So probably Vib Rouge will be the week before May 1st. It's usually kind of how it happens. Rouge goes first, then Vib gets access, then Beauty Insider gets access. But we'll probably have those dates confirmed here pretty shortly. So I definitely already have it on my list to do a recommendations video. And I'm also going to be doing a wish list video, kind of sharing what's on my loves list and what I'm planning to pick up in the sale. But thought I would share that with you. This is called the Beauty Insider event, the Spring Bonus. We have some more new releases from Morphe. They're also coming out with Bake and Set setting powders, which are satiny loose powders. These are going to be $12 each. I have a lot of powders going on right now, and I actually just picked up a mini of the Fenty setting powder. It was a 100 point perk or a bonus offer from my latest Sephora order, so I picked that one up and I've been trying it. But I have a lot of powders that I really enjoy, really stand by, and like I said, I have a couple new ones that I've been testing out, so I don't feel like I need that one. Okay, this release is from Tarte Cosmetics, and again, this was one that I felt I never even knew was coming out, and then I saw a couple of my friends post YouTube videos on it, and I remember looking at their thumbnails and being like, what are they holding? What is that? I don't even know what that palette is. This is from Tarte Cosmetics in collaboration with Adelaine Morin, who I personally am not familiar with, but she has 1.1 million Instagram subscribers, or Instagram followers, so that's awesome. She's collaborating with Tarte on a new eye and cheek palette. I didn't really get Tarte vibes from this palette either. It has this bright yellow packaging. The colors inside are definitely pretty. You have some of those warm tones in there. There's some yellows, which apparently that's like her favorite color, so that's awesome, but not a lot from Tarte really calls my attention right now. You know, I'm not familiar with the collaborator, and the palette didn't really like jump out to me right away. Like the bright yellow packaging is really cool, but actually what's inside, nothing really jumped out at me right away, so I will be passing over that one from Tarte. We are almost done, my goodness. I did get a lot of tags also that Lancome is coming out with a new eyeshadow palette. This is the Monsieur Big Maxi palette. That's a funny name. A heart-shaped pink chrome palette that includes 12 shades of love, and matte, shimmery, and glittery finishes will be available around April or May. I don't see a price on it yet. I think this one is super cute, but I would have thought this would be like around Valentine's Day release. It just seems kind of like a random thing because it's this heart-shaped with these beautiful like pinks inside and just a very romantic looking palette. It just seems kind of like a random time to release it. I don't know. I mean, there's time to spread the love all year round. It doesn't just have to be on Valentine's Day, but I don't know, that's kind of funny. I don't know if I've ever tried Lancome eyeshadows. I'm trying to think. Off the top of my head, I don't think that I have. Like, I've tried other products from them and skincare and lip products and mascaras, but I don't think that I've tried eyeshadows. So it's a pretty palette. It definitely caught my attention. Like, you know, I gave it a double take, and I think the packaging is really pretty on it, but I definitely am a big fan of pink eyeshadows, which means that I have a lot in my collection. So I don't know if I would love kind of the shape of it and the heart, and like I think of like storing in my collection. I don't know if I would be a big fan of that, so probably I'll pass over it, but I'll definitely check out the price, and if people review it, I'll watch it, but I can't imagine that this is something that I'm just gonna run out and want to purchase right away. The final item that I got is another new release from Natasha Denona. Woo, okay, we are back, my goodness. This is a new duo from Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Bronze and Glow. This is for $19. Inside you have a bronzer and then also a highlighter. Like I said, for $19 will be available April 9th and also available on Sephora and Beautylish. I have one of Natasha's mini blush and glows, so it has a blush and a highlighter in there, and I think that it's pretty decent. I pulled it into my Shop My Stash for a while, a couple months back, and I got some pretty good use out of it. I thought that it was nice. I love my Natasha Denona Super Glow highlight in Fair. That's one of my favorite highlights. I definitely thought that highlight was a different you know, finish from the highlight that was in the duo. So I don't know, I really do like bronzers and I really do enjoy highlights. I don't know if I really need this one. It's $19, which isn't too terrible, and again with the sale coming up, I might kind of eye this one and flag it. I'm sure some people are going to do some reviews on it so I can kind of get a better idea for what the shades inside are going to be like. Like, is the bronzer, is it more cool tone, is it more warm tone? Like, I'm not really 100% sure on what it's going to actually look like. And then the swatches of the highlighter almost has it looking kind of like a duochrome. So I don't know, the Glow Extreme is from the Diamond and Blush Citrus palette, and then the bronzer is a new shade. Okay, so maybe I'll have to check out that palette to kind of get an idea of what the highlighter is actually like. So if it is more of a duochrome highlight, those aren't my favorite, so I probably wouldn't go for it, but I don't know, it definitely was interesting. I looked at it a couple times trying to decide if I need this one, and final thoughts are I'm not going to run out and grab it right away. I kind of want to get some better ideas of what the shades inside really are, and then maybe I will consider it. But my goodness, I felt like that was a lot for this week's video. Woo! Let me know what you thought of all the different products that I was talking about. I always love to get your guys' opinions and chat with you in the comment section. But that is where we are going to wrap up this week's Will I Buy It video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, if you did enjoy this one, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go. And I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.